Captains for the Mustangs.
Opening kickoff tonight is brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. Looking to find insurance for your car, home, or even for you? Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance's locations in Brush and Fort Morgan. They can help you with your home, car, health, or life insurance questions or provide a quote. That's Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. Kevin, bounce back game here for the Mustangs. I mean, only because they played well last week in the opening half, but lost to Holy Family, and you're playing your third consecutive road game, so obviously got to get it done here tonight.
Absolutely. I think the key to the game is going to be, like Coach Chisholm said, they're going to have to figure out a way to get their run game working and continue to work on shutting down the opponent's running game. Without that, we're going to be dead in the water. I think you'll probably see Berthoud, which is a much smaller team than Holy Family, not be able to hold up against our offensive line, and then also offensively, I think we'll be able to, or on our defense against their offensive line, we'll be able to control the line of scrimmage better.
Brian, a little bit of a chilly night, huh? A little breezy out here, a little cool. There we go. With football weather, though. So.
Amen. First day of fall.
Yeah, you know what? Let me tell you something. I grew up in Miami, and Michael Irvin, guys like that, they said, hey, that's football weather's 85 degrees. Right. It's a different. So, I guess I haven't grown up yet. I just haven't grown up. All right, Jose Jimenez to kick it off for the Mustangs. We're at the top of the hour here on KPRB, Brush Fort Morgan, Morgan County's B106. And again, Berthoud in those charcoal uniforms. Miguel Sarmiento is one of the deep men for the Spartans. And Jose Jimenez runs up to the football. He boots that baby high and down the middle at the 11. Running to his right across the 15 to the 20 along the far sideline. That's Jacob Lazinski. And he's tackled at around the 28-yard line, a return of 17. And that's where Berthoud will be setting up with their quarterback, Brock Voth, at the 28-yard line. Let's see, and this guy, Kevin, we know he's versatile.
Absolutely. Voth's got passing 41 completions on 79 attempts for 799 yards and another 160 on the ground running.
And again, we got dark uniforms, which could provide a challenge. Two in the backfield. And there's the give right up the middle. Across the 30. The ball is loose. It's still loose at around the 35, but it's picked up by Berthoud. And I think they're able to get a first down off of that. Looks like it's going to be just short. Looks like about a yard short. Yeah, that was A.J. Anema, or Anema, and we'll call it about a gain of around close to 10, but 9 yards in the play, second down and 1, with the football at the 37-yard line. That out of the pistol, looks like, for Anema. One setback. Awaiting the snap is Voth. And there's the give right side, first down, and that's Anema again across the 40 to the 44, gain of 7. Jimmy Keller, the senior, made the tackle for Fort Morgan. The 2 impressive carries so far for the Spartans here.
I think they probably looked at the film from last week and maybe even talked to the Holy Family coach about what is it that you did to have success gashing the middle against the Mustang defense.
First and 10, Berthoud at their own 44-yard line. Nothing fancy there. Again, well behind center, and there's the handoff once again to Anema, running off right tackle, swings it to the outside. He's got a gain of about 3 to the 47, Anema, that is. It'll be second down and about, well, they'll call it 2. Trey McBride around the football. That's 3 carries now for 18 yards, and they're quickly up to the line of scrimmage, just past the 46-yard line. 2 receivers split each side. And Bob that time is going to hand it off, but McBride is right there to make the play at the line of scrimmage. And that was Anema. Again, they've given the ball to him 4 times, but they tried to run to McBride's side, Brian, and he was there to meet the challenge.
Right.
Yeah, but Dylan's right there. He's got that cast on, but that didn't stop him from making the tackle. Third down and 8 to go for Berthoud at their own 46-yard line, opening drive of the game. This time in a gun there, about 6 yards behind, 5 to 6 yards behind the center. Back to throw his ball, and to his left, the pass is incomplete. It's underthrown, and well defended over there by Donovan Moy at the 41-yard line. Intended over there for Jacob Lazinski.
And guess who was in the backfield saying hi to him? He didn't get a hit on him, but Dylan McBride was right there letting him know that you can't hold that ball much longer.
Do you think McBride does say hi to him?
I would if I was him.
Okay, well.
So it's a nice night. Thanks for inviting us down.
The Spartans to punt. Luis Garcia back, heavy rush. But the punt is successful, and Garcia's got to let it go over his head. And that is a huge punt along the sideline. And that is down almost near the goal line from this vantage point. We don't have the best vantage point from here, but that was a huge punt there by Schmid.
Yeah, down for 2, maybe even 1.
Let's see where they spot it. We'll be able to tell here along the sideline once they spot everything. And
they'll be able to overcome adversity, so here's some adversity for the Mustangs to get started with.
Man, I think that ball's at the 1.
Yep.
That's right, a 52-yard punt with a little roll there. Outstanding play already on special teams. 1st and 10. The quarterback is Isaac Linker. Let's see the Mustangs can get out of this hole deep in their own territory. And Linker that time is going to hand it off on the right side. That might be a safety. That is safety on the handoff back in the end zone. And it is a safety. Let's see if Ortega had that football. I think it might have been Ortega. Again, tough to see from here. There's not a lot of trajectory here. No, that instead, for Fort Morgan, that is David. I thought it was Sarinana, but I think it said Serena there. But anyway, it's a safety as the tackle is made about 3 yards deep into the end zone, and Berthoud has the lead 2-0.
And that's what happens when special teams fails you. And Berthoud, Fort Morgan deferred and then chose to go into the win first quarter, so let's hope second quarter fares were better for him.
Brian, been too many games where we've seen safeties in back-to-back weeks by the opposing team?
No. It's pretty rare, but we're seeing about anything this year, so.
All right, so yeah, you're right. It's been a strange year, including our setup tonight, but I wanted to do it a little bit differently, so anyway. It's 2-0 here.
Bottom of the first?
Bottom of the first, yeah, you're right. 2-0, bottom of the first, and the Mustangs off that play. And I don't know if that was just some sort of end around or counter. I know it went from left to right.
Yeah, it was hard to tell from our vantage point, but he didn't get out across the goal line, that's for sure. And the offensive line is going to have to do a better job than that.
Hopefully we'll see more conventional football from here on out with the Mustangs down 2-0 early. Last week they were down 14-13, and Holy Family registered the final points of the game with a safety. And it was a 16-13 win, and now for Holy Family, Jose Jimenez will be kicking it off. Jimenez runs up to the football. That's a line drive. It'll bounce it around the 25. No, it's going to be deflected and caught at the 30-yard line. Along the 40 is Miguel Sarmiento, and he's got some daylight across the 45 to the 48. It's a return of 23 yards. I got to tell you, Trey McBride is trying to fire up his Fort Morgan teammates because they've come out a little bit flat here.
Yep, that was one of the points I made. You can't overlook this team. You got Meade coming into Fort Morgan next week, ranked number 2. Last week they had the number 1 team in the state, so you gotta rub your head on and play it right tonight.
1st and 10, out of the gun. Voth is going to hand it. No, he's going to keep it himself. Run to his right. He's got daylight. He's in the Fort Morgan territory, still on his feet, and he's across the 40 to about the 36. That's a big gainer there. Let's check the yardage. Yeah, but it'll be a gain of 16 yards and a first down for Berthoud.
And that pistol is just provides us so many different options to run out of, and Fort Morgan's going to have to play assignment defense if they're going to stop it.
Yeah, and they're back in it right there. Okay, now he's closing. He's been 4 yards. He's been 6 yards behind the center. Almost a little bit of deception there. Man in motion to the left. Pass out in the right flat. It's caught along the sideline. And across the 35 to about the 30, maybe to Lusinski. That is both is the official pronunciation.
And Fort Morgan had that defended, and the defender just missed the tackle. Going to have to do better individually at taking their assignments.
That's a gain of 9 on the pass to Lusinski at the 27. 2nd down and 1. 8:45 to go in the opening quarter. Berthoud with a 2-0 lead. Again, at that same pistol formation. Let's see if this is going to be a running play on 2nd down and 1 for the 27. And this will be a give, but a loss back there at the 28-yard line. And that handoff went to the fullback, the up man, Cooper Stratmeyer. And a big-time tackle there made James Moody. James Moody made the hit. Loss of 1. It'll be 3rd down and 2 to go for the 28-yard line. You can hear the wind whipping quite a bit here in Berthoud. Under these cool temperatures, trips to the left. 1 setback, 1 receiver to the right. Both awaits a snap on a 3rd down and 2. Man in motion to the right is Lazinski, and he's going to have nope, it'll be up the middle once again. A nice fake, and daylight to the 10, the 5 touchdown right up the middle is both. He was barely touched 28 yards away as the Mustangs pursued towards the man who didn't have the ball, and all of a sudden both went right up the middle for the score, 28 yards away, and Berthoud now leads 8-0.
Yeah, and in the game of field position, Fort Morgan's just let them start on decent field position on the second drive because of the safety.
And that's Ryan Schmad to attempt the extra point. It's down, the kick is up, and that one is just inside the right upright. It's good. 7:55 to go. We're in the opening quarter with the score. Berthoud 9, Fort Morgan nothing. It's a 30-second break on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. All right, it's 9-0 here in favor of the Berthoud Spartans. And gentlemen, there's no doubt that the Mustangs are stunned here after the 28-yard touchdown run by Brock Voth.
Yeah, it looked like it opened up right over the middle where he was kind of shed a couple of defenders, looked like, and then ran it on into the end zone for the touchdown.
All right, let's see what the Mustangs can do once they get the football for a second time. Their field position was awful the first time. And that one is booted.
Or was it booted?
Yeah, into the end. Yeah, wow. Kicked it so deep I didn't see it myself.
Yep.
All right, so the Mustangs have it at their own 20-yard line. But this is a stunner so far in Berthoud. So the Mustangs down by this 9-0 score.
You got Keller in there at fullback. Something's wrong with Hokenaddle?
Yeah, John Hokenaddle's out for the game with a sprained ankle. 1st and 10. Under center is Isaac Linker. And Linker will give it off the right side. And nothing there. Boy, held up is Jimmy Keller. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Stood up by the middle of the Berthoud defensive line. Yeah, they had the wrong ball carrier up there. Right. But anyway, making the play, Jet Glasser, a 6', 170-pound senior. 2nd down and 10 to go for the Mustangs. At their own 20-yard line. Again, Linker's under center. Receiver out to the left. 2 in the backfield. That time, Linker off left tackle with a handoff. And very little yardage there. Let's see if that's...
That was Keller again.
Keller again, yep. Gain of about maybe a yard. 3rd down. And we'll call it 9, a gain of half a yard. But that football just passed the 20-yard line at the 21. We have 6:54 to go in the opening quarter. And it's a 9-0 lead for Berthoud. Passing situation, 2 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. Out of the pistol, Linker's going to roll to his right, still rolling. He throws, and that pass is going to be caught, I believe, by Luis Garcia along the sideline. A sliding catch near the 1st down marker.
Yeah, but they're calling it 4th down, so it must have been close.
Well, yeah, but it's a less than a yard short. It's a gain of 8. And I think the Mustangs will probably go for it here, 4th down, and I know they're deep in their own territory, but they're confident with that offense, even though they've struggled to run the ball the first 2 plays. And obviously the safety was the first play they had when they had the football the first time. They'll go for it. Halfway through the opening quarter, 4th down and 1 at their own 29-yard line. Key play here. Linker, quarterback sneak, 1st down off the quick snap, and he's still driving across the 30 to the 34. That's a 5-yard sneak for Isaac Linker, and I think throwing off the defense certainly helped there.
Right.
As the tackle was made by Anthony Trojan, a 5'5", 165-pound middle linebacker. Not a big kid, but he's a stocky one.
Right. Like for Morgan, a lot of the Berthoud kids play both ways. So he's a good runner, too.
1st and 10, Fort Morgan at their own 34, trailing 9-0. Linker under center. One in the backfield. Linker is going to take off with the football, run to his left, still on his feet, and he's across the 35 towards the 38 or 39. Kind of wiggled his way and looking for running room just to try to follow his block. And he picked up 5 yards in the play. It'll be 2nd down and 5. That's what the Mustangs chew up some time, shorten this game. 9-0. It's still early. No reason to panic here.
Right. Yeah. They're still well within this game, especially the way they've been moving this ball here.
Equitable Savings and Loan, proud to be Northeast Colorado's locally owned hometown savings and loan. Fort Morgan, Sterling, and Brush. 2nd and 5. The Mustangs at their own 39-yard line. Monroe, the receiver, to the right. And this will be a give right up the middle. No, that's Linker again. That's a 1st down. Again, tough to see it because they're playing almost in a phone booth at times, keeping everything tight. And Linker kept the ball for a gain of 6. And now the Mustangs are going in the right direction. You can hear that wind is whipping quite a bit.
Just windy, no moisture, so that's a good thing.
All right, yeah.
1st and 10, Fort Morgan at their own 45. Under 4.5 to go in the opening quarter, down by 9. Linker will send Ortega in motion. The pitch to Ortega, stutter stepping back to the middle, and he might not have even got back to the line of scrimmage. He lost a yard at the 44, and there were way too many spots. They've got some big guys right there in the middle. It'll be 2nd down and 11 as the play was made. That's it. And Ryan Schmott, who's a kicker, also is a big guy. I mean, you look at him, dimensionally 6'3", only weighs 175, but he's athletic.
Well, they're playing a lot bigger than their actual size because Fort Morgan's having a hard time on the line of scrimmage. The offensive line's going to have to start running off the line.
2nd down and 9, Mustangs at the 44, out of the pistol. 2nd and 11, that is. Linker, again, rolling out to his right, throwing off his back foot, complete. At the 50 to Jacob Ortega. It's a gain of 6. Miguel Sarmiento made the tackle. Might even give him 7 there, but at the 49-yard line.
It's the first time into Berthoud territory for the Mustangs.
It'll be 3rd down, and we'll call it about 4 to go for the Mustangs. On the other side of the 50. A 28-yard run by Brock Voth, preceded by a safety to get Berthoud the early lead. 3rd down and 4. Out of the pistol once again, one setback. Isaac Linker is going to roll out to his right, gets a block, looking. Now he's going to run with the football. He's down. He's down for a loss of a couple of yards. Back at the 49, maybe the 48-yard line. It'll be 4th down and 6, and now more than likely this is a punting situation for Fort Morgan.
Yep, looks like they're sending out Garcia to punt.
And now deep to receive is Wyatt Woodrick. And let me tell you, you don't win this game, and you've got Meade next week. You know, all of a sudden.
You're 2 and 3.
Yeah, I mean, but you got plenty of time, like Brian said. Awaiting the snap is the left-footed Garcia. It's a low snap, and he gets it off a gorgeous end-over-end punt. And the ball is loose, and the Mustangs have it. I don't know why Sarmiento tried to catch the ball. I mean, that ball was diving towards the turf, and it's recovered over there by David Nadvaz, or Danny Nadvaz, I should say. But that ball was descending towards the turf, and he was on his knees trying to make the catch. That was a huge error by Sarmiento, and the Mustangs have a big break. He should have just let that bounce.
And I think the wind probably played a big part of that and kind of killed it at the last minute, and then he thought, I was committed, I better go for it, and big mistake.
And the Mustangs recovered the ball at the Berthoud 20. 1st and 10. Linker right up the middle to Keller on the handoff across the 20 towards the 17. Got about 3 yards in the play. Let's see if they give him 3. All piled up around the middle. It looks like 2 yards to the 18.
They really seem to be committing to plugging up that middle, and maybe if we can get that option game or that outside game going a little bit better, although we ran the one and they got us for the safety. So
the Mustangs sending in a no offensive lineman, Gerardo Miranda checking out because of an equipment issue. James Moody in. 2nd down and 8, Fort Morgan at the 18-yard line. Well under 2 minutes to go here in the opening quarter from Berthoud. The receiver to the right is Monroe. Garcia to the left. Under center is Linker. Keller's the lone setback. On 2nd down and 8. In motion, and now we got a flag.
Lineman moved.
Yep. false start against the Mustangs at a 2nd and 8. Now becomes a 2nd down and 13 here for Fort Morgan. Colorado Plains Medical Center has experienced physicians and a highly trained surgical team trained in the latest surgical procedures. Explore what procedures are possible in your hometown. That's at Colorado Plains Medical Center.
It appears like they're playing a forefront, and the two guys in the middle are staying way in, and the ends are playing out. You might have to go off tackle.
2nd down and 13 for the Mustangs, just inside the 23-yard line of Berthoud, trailing 9-0. A minute 15 to go in the opening quarter. In motion, they're back to throw now is Linker getting pressured, rolling to his right. He's going to be sacked. He's going to be sacked right there in the grass, but about the 32, 33-yard line. And coming right through, looked like that was check that, Connor Ballier, a senior at 6'1", 225. Man, that's close to about that's a sizable loss. Well, it's back at the 29, actually, so it's a 6-yard loss there for Linker.
And that you'd call a coverage sack because he looked downfield and everyone was covered.
Yeah, they were sending Sadinana there in motion. Now the Mustangs are faced with a 3rd down and 19 to go. From the 29, Linker out of the pistol, 5-step drop, looking for it deep over the middle, and it is tipped and incomplete. Boy, Grayson Garver nearly came up with a circus catch inside the 5-yard line, but it's incomplete, and let's see what the Mustangs do. I don't think it's field goal range. You're going to have to go for it here on a 4th down and close to 19.
Right. This gusty wind, definitely not a field goal.
Nice try by Garver. Went up pretty high, and then he got dumped. But
yeah, and that wind just knocked down the ball. If he could have gotten another 2-3 yards, Garver would have had a chance for it in the end zone.
With the ball at about the 30-yard line.
All right, so here we go. On a 4th down and 19, the Mustangs will be going for it here. Two receivers to the left, one to the right, out of the pistol, Linker with Keller in the backfield on 4th and 19. They might be coming in a blitz. In fact, Linker is pointing that out towards his lineman. And Linker is back to throw, still looking, sets up deep over the middle towards the end zone. It is caught in the back of the end zone, incomplete. No, nearly caught by Garver in the back of the end zone, but it's off his hands. And there might be a roughing the passer.
I think it's hands to the face on Berthoud because one of the defenders on that left end over there had pushed the...
And unfortunately, there's another flag here because Trey was outside of the coaching player's box. And so I don't know if that's a warning or that's a penalty. But
well, first of all, even if that's against Berthoud, it's not an automatic 1st down like it would be at higher levels because you had 19 yards to amass here with 10.8 seconds to go in the opening quarter. So we'll see what the call is. But it looks like Kevin said, multiple penalties. One definitely against Berthoud. We'll see what happens here with the either a sideline warning, as you can see the players backing up.
So it looks like they're going to go 15 down and 15 back and maybe replay the play.
I wonder if they actually walk that off. They should.
Well, it should be half the distance and then 15 back and we actually lose on the field.
Right, that would be correct. But let's see, Harrison Chisholm receiving the explanation. I'm sure not happy about it, at least with the way Fort Morgan is affected by whatever penalty was called on them. And again, the wind is certainly playing a factor here. I haven't seen any indication.
Yeah, he just motioned it over to the other side what the penalties were, but I couldn't see it.
Well, hands to the face, like Brian said.
Setting penalty against Fort Morgan, unsportsmanlike conduct.
And that was a player that was outside of the box and maybe said something.
Why do they have to walk it off? 15 forward and 15 backward is just where it should be. But anyway, that's just me.
Still 4th and 19.
All right, we'll do it again. 4th and 19 with the Mustangs at the Berthoud 29. Two receivers to the left, two to the right. Out of the pistol, Isaac Linker with Keller in the backfield. Back to throw. He's got plenty of protection. He throws towards the middle. It's caught. No, now incomplete. Oh, man. That's two balls inside a Mustang receiver's hands. And Andrew Monroe could not make the catch. We have another flag down right near the quarterback. Let's see what this one's about.
Looks like someone hands to the face.
Berthoud is making some critical mistakes here.
Personal foul. I don't know if that brings with an automatic first down.
No, it should not be an automatic first down.
Yeah, no, it's not. So they got rid of that rule.
Well, I don't think it was a rule. I don't think at the high school level.
I always thought that a personal foul was an automatic.
I don't think at the high school, it's got to be, it's the yardage.
Right. And that might be back from when I played, and we won't talk about what year that was.
Or what century. All right, so here we go. The football's at the 14-yard line. It'll be 4th down, and now we'll call it about 4 for Fort Morgan. So they're getting another reprieve here. A third shot, down 9-0. This will be the final play here in the opening quarter. Linker is going to roll out to his right. Still rolling, throwing underneath. The pass is caught, and that's a first down inside the 10 to about the 9. As the pass, I believe, was caught over there by Andrew Monroe. It is, and that's the end of the opening quarter with a score. Berthoud 9, Fort Morgan nothing on Morgan County's B106 and B106.net. John Beltran back with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde, where the Mustangs trail by a score of 9-0. But they are threatening here as we head to the second quarter. And the football is at around the 9-yard line. First down and goal. Linker under center. On first and goal, hands it off right up the gut to Narvaez. Breaks it of a tackle, but he doesn't have much more. Maybe to the 8, but that hole was closed quickly there. The Mustangs have had trouble running the ball. And now, looked like the play kept going well after the whistle blew, but we could see plenty of that happening tonight.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. The official needs to get quicker on that whistle, otherwise you're going to have hurt feelings and bad blood.
Yeah.
Ball is down to about the 7-yard line.
Well, they gave him the 7.
Right.
So a gain of a couple.
At the 7.
So it was a good job of him bouncing outside and making something out of nothing.
Yeah, he like running into a brick wall when he hit that first one.
Right.
First quarter scoring a safety by Berthoud, then a 28-yard run by Brock Voth. Second down and goal at the 7. Linker is out of the pistol. He had trips to the right, and now
Delay.
And there's a flag.
what?
Delay the game.
Did he take that long?
5-yard
Is the play clock now like 15 seconds? I mean, that was a pretty quick delay.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the official started counting when he thought the play ended last time, and they let it run for another 5 minutes.
I guess.
Seconds. I don't know.
That's a quick delay.
It was.
Now it's from the 12, second down and goal. Linker again, out of the pistol. Linker, back to throw, looking. He's got pressure. He's sacked. He's going to be taken down. Well, again, that might have been a coverage sack as well, Kevin, because he had some time there.
Quarterback went down.
And then he was taken down. Let's see, back at around, that might be at the 20. It's a loss of 8, and they've gone backwards too many times here.
Right. They've had so many plays that have killed their drive, and yet somehow they've been able to keep it going. Of course, Berthoud gave them the penalties, but they're going to have to figure something out.
Well, they might have to utilize the kicking game tonight. I mean, they couldn't kick the other way because it was too much of a distance, but now with a third down and goal for the 20, even if you pick up about 7 to 10 yards, you set up about a 27-yard field goal. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Again, Linker out of the pistol. Awaits the snap. Has the football. 3-step drop. Looks to his left, throws. That's complete underneath along the sideline, but then slipping down for a decent gain is Grayson Garver. Let's see how much yardage they give him here. He might have got half of the yardage, at least towards the goal line.
And there's that
about the
team
10.
coming on.
All right, so give him 11 yards in the play on Garver's first reception. And now this will be a 26-yard field goal attempted by Adam Cardona off the hold of Linker. He nailed one last week. The snap is there. The kick by Cardona is up, and that one is off to the right. He missed it.
Just barely.
9:25 to go in the opening quarter, in the opening half.
Well, that would have really helped because that would have put it within one score and a touchdown in 7. You know, an extra point would have put us ahead.
Well, he kind of kicked it flat-footed there.
Yep.
It didn't look like a typical Cardona kick. And as a result, Berthoud's got it at their own 20, leading 9-0 here. The Mustangs going to have to come up with a turnover, which they did earlier in the game.
And regardless of offense, we're going to have to figure out some way to stop them on defense.
First and 10. Yeah, you got to stop Brock Both. You're right. I mean, that guy has been really good. Both this time in a shotgun. 6 yards behind center, waiting the snap. Now resetting is Lazinski. He's got the pitch. It went behind him, I believe. And the ball is loose. Let's see. I think the Mustangs might have it again. This could be their second fumble recovery. I mean, that was not a good pitch. It was an errant pitch behind Lazinski. And Fort Morgan recovered. And that one was recovered by Bobby Tolson. That's Tolson coming out of the pack with a football.
And imagine both the coaches, you know, you're coming up against a powerhouse team of the Mustangs, and your team was playing absolutely great, except for a few horrendous mistakes. And here they are only up 9-0. And Fort Morgan has the ball on the doorstep again.
Brian, that has flashbacks of 2 weeks ago at Falcon.
Yeah.
That errant pitch, and you wonder, why not hand it off?
Yeah.
Keep it simple when you're up 9-0. That gives the Mustangs a break. And that football's at around the 15-yard line. First and 10, Linker under center. Linker will hand it off left tackle, and there's a small hole there. Close quickly. It's a gain of 2 or 3. And that's Jimmy Keller. I don't know why they're saying it's 44. They got a clear perspective up there. Oh, they're going to get, let's see. Oh, it's about the 10. They're 4 yards, just caught 4.
And that's the first time Keller's seen daylight when he got that ball, instead of seeing some, you know, either the back of one of his linemen coming at him or one of the defenders.
We'll call it second down in the long 6. With that football at around the 10. Again, Linker's under center. 2 in the backfield. And Linker will keep it himself. He'll spin across the right side. He might have got a yard or 2 to about the 9, perhaps the 8, before he was stacked up by the left side of that Berthoud defensive line. Miguel Sarmiento, who made that mistake on special teams, was able to come up with a tackle. Gain of 2, 3rd down and 4 for the Mustangs at the 8-yard line of the Spartans.
Balls at about the 7-yard line.
Well, got to get in here. They've had trouble in the red zone. 3rd down and 4, just inside the 8. Linker will keep it himself, and they were not fooled at all. There were 2 Spartans, make it 3 right there to make the play.
That time he should have given it off to Navarez because no one touched him.
Well, Anthony Trojan, that middle linebacker, he's read most of these plays, and he did it again there.
Loss of a yard on that
Well,
play.
are we going to see another field goal attempt?
This time Jose's out there kicking.
5 yards with the ball at the 8-yard line.
Here we go. This will be about a 25-yard field goal attempt for Jose Jimenez, who nailed a 33-yarder a week ago. The Mustangs looking to make this a single-score game. Off the hold of Linker. Awaiting the snap. Perfect snap. The kick by Jimenez is up. He boots that baby right down the middle. It's good. 7:18 to go. We're in the opening half with the score. Berthoud 9, Fort Morgan 3. This is Morgan County's B106 and B106.net.
Now with the wind, you ought to be, well, now the
The
wind.
Mustangs take advantage of the turnover. And they now lead, or they trail, I should say, after the field goal of 25 yards by Jose Jimenez, 9-3. Jimenez to kick it off. Let's see if he can put it into the end zone like Schmad did for the Spartans. Runs up to that football, kicks it high and pretty deep, and backing up and fielding that is Lazinski at the 2 across the left side. He's got a seam along the sideline at about the 30-yard line, across the 30. And I think he might have got to the 31. We'll check the field positioning here. The Mustangs are down now 9-3. But let me tell you, they could have had quite a few more points here, but at least they got something out of that.
Right. And now the defense is going to have to solve that Berthoud multifaceted offense.
Well, I don't think we're going to be seeing many pitch outs there, many option pitches. I think a lot of it's going to be handoffs there from about, let's say, the 31. Out of the pistol, and there's the keeper by Voth up the middle. Again, he's got a seam, and he's towards the 40-yard line before he's stacked up there, but it's a gain of about 8.
Yeah, he's a shifty runner, and he's fast.
They say he's about 6 foot 155.
Yep.
Bobby Tolson amongst the Mustangs in on the hit. It'll be 2nd down and 2 for the 30. And Volf has been running the ball extremely well so far. He's got that 28-yard touchdown run that came in the opening quarter. On 2nd down and 2 at the 39. Again, out of the pistol, 2 receivers to the right. Volf will take off with the football, running off left tackle. 1st down, he's into the secondary along the sideline in the Mustang territory across the 45 to about the 42. It's a gain of 19 yards and a Berthoud Spartan 1st down.
Yeah, he's finding all kinds of room over there on that left side right now.
Probably Fort Morgan is in a defense that's trying to pick up everybody else. You have to account for that quarterback somehow, and that's hard because the defenses try and stop running backs and receivers.
1st and 10, just inside the 42 of the Mustangs. 9-3 Berthoud. Trips to the right. Again out of the gun, looking to throw his Volf. Pressure throw deep up the right side, incomplete. A diving attempt at the 19, actually off the pistol. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
And he had his man open and almost got it to him, but he felt some pressure right there at the end.
Yeah, that was the senior Wyatt Woodrick at 5'11", 180. Both 2 out of 4 for 25 yards. And keep in mind, Mustangs have come up with 2 turnovers, but 3 points, not much to show for it there. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Again for the pistol formation. Man in motion to the right is Lazinski. They're going to throw it out on the flat to the left, and that is caught by Anima along the sideline, spinning down inside the 40 to about the 35. And Anima gets 7 off that swing pass.
So far they seem to be motioning away from where they're going to run the play to.
It'll be 3rd down, and we'll call it about 4. Could be 4 down territory. 5:35 to go 2nd quarter. Berthoud 9, Fort Morgan 3. Berthoud has a touchdown and a safety. The Mustangs have a 25-yard field goal from Jose Jimenez. Again, trips to the right, 1 receiver to the left. Man in motion to the right. That's Anima. Back to throw is Volf, setting up. Now pressure coming, and McBride's got him. Dylan McBride's got him at the 30-yard line. It's a loss of 5, and Mustangs needed that.
Oh, yeah.
They needed that in the worst way.
And I don't know with the 4th and 10 whether it's still 4 down territory or not. It appears that that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, they're going to punt. Remember, they backed up Fort Morgan to the 1 on their first possession. That resulted in a safety. And let's see if Schmad hopefully won't do the same. That was just an incredible punt the first time around. Luis Garcia back deep to receive. And that one is a fluttering punt towards the sideline. It takes a Berthoud roll inside the 10. And let's see where that drops. That's a heck of a punt again. Yep. That's got to be at around the 5 or 6 yard line.
Right.
But let's see where it's...
Oh, and then we got a flag. So we're going to look at that.
It's against Berthoud.
And it's against, probably holding, I'm guessing, in that area.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's 10 from there. It's going to push them all the way back. Now we might be able to get a punt return out of it.
Well, the Mustangs needed that, quite frankly.
Yes.
I mean, you don't want to lose the battle of field position that badly here, especially when you're trailing by 6. Schmad will do it again.
4th down coming up for the Spartans. 20 yards to go for the first.
He has a pretty good leg. He had that deep one that first time. Then this one, he just kind of placed it where he wanted. It seems like a pretty decent punter.
See if all right, awaiting the snap. There it is. Here comes the rush, but he gets it off an end-over-end punt. Let's see. Garcia calls for the fair catch. He's got it. And that one is just shy of the 20.
And what a great play. He had to come quite a ways up to get to that, but to get that and not let it bounce farther into our territory.
All right, so 1st and 10 for Fort Morgan at their own 19. 4:33 to go 2nd quarter. In Berthoud, the Spartans lead 9-3. As the Mustangs came back there, taking advantage of Berthoud's 2nd turnover with a 25-yard field goal by Jose Jimenez. Garver is the receiver to the left. Jimmy Keller's the setback. Out of the pistol. Linker is going to roll out to his right, setting up over the middle, nearly intercepted. That was intended for Andrew Monroe, but that should have been intercepted there by Anthony Trojan. He was just playing center field. I mean, that was very similar to the pass that Keller intercepted last week.
Right.
Just waiting for it in the middle.
Right. Yeah, if he had caught that, he'd have been in unless the momentum would have taken him to the ground. But
I didn't see anybody there for Fort Morgan. They could have made that play. And Linker so far is 4 out of 6 through the air for 31 yards. Now let's see the Mustangs go to the run on 2nd down and 10 from their own 19. Out of the pistol. No, Linker's going to roll to his right. Throws underneath, and that one's incomplete. Intended for Ortega along the far sideline. He was well covered by the underneath man. 3rd down and 10 to go for the Mustangs. And the one thing that's not happening here is that they're not taking any time off the clock. They're going to give Berthoud another chance here unless Fort Morgan can pick up a 1st down.
And just down the road, start of the 2nd quarter, Meade's already up 21-0 against Longmont.
3rd down and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 19-yard line. John Beltran with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde. With 4:24 to go in the 2nd. Trips to the left, one receiver to the right. Linker out of the pistol is going to roll to his left. Still rolling, pressure coming. Going to take off with the football. Now he wants to throw. He throws on the run. The pass is complete to a diving Luis Garcia at the 45-yard line. A tremendous throw, a gain of 31 yards. And a Mustang 1st down. And that was a great throw, Brian, with basically against the grain with his body running towards the sideline.
yeah, that's hard to do. A right-handed pass running to the left and being pursued like that. And he got it down there, and Luis did the rest of it at his end. Playing out for that one. Yeah, it was great.
And then both the defender made the mistake of seeing Linker coming and decided, I'm going to come up and stop that run. And this guy get behind him by 5 yards.
I mean, quite frankly, that's an NFL-type play. An excellent play on both ends. Out of the pistol, 1st and 10 Mustangs in the 45 of Berthoud. Low snap, pass out to the right, and it's incomplete. Ortega was wide open, but Linker overthrew it. It'll be 2nd down and 10 to go. Well, Isaac had 31 yards passing before that pass. So he had 31, now he's up to 62. And he had over 100 yards passing the first half last week.
Yep. Yeah, what did he end up with, 150?
Yeah, very, very respectable. He was 6 out of 14 at halftime last week. 2nd down and 10. Trips to the right. One receiver to the left. Again, out of the pistol. The lone setback is Keller. Low snap again to throw his Linker. Getting pressured. Throws it deep up the left side. That pass is going to be caught along the sideline by Grayson Garber. Oh, he was blanketed extremely well, but somehow made the play inside the 15 to about the 13. I don't know how he made that catch because I think it got a piece of the defender, Kevin. But he's got a gain of about 32 and a 1st down on the catch by Grayson Garver.
Yep. And now we're doing a little hurry up and make them hurry.
1st and 10 to throw out to the right, and that's incomplete. Again, he's overshot Ortega a couple of times here as they went right up to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down and 10, so Linker's got 63 yards passing on this drive alone.
And there were only 2 people that could have got to that, and they both touched it, I think, and they were both from Berthoud. That was not a well-advised throw.
The official spot is the 15, but 2nd down and 10. But the Mustangs, again, at least in field goal range. At the very least, with 3:38 to go. I mean, who would have thought that this season they'd have 3 field goals already and 4 field goal attempts? Jimmy Keller, again, the lone setback. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Under center this time is Linker, who's going to head it off to Keller. He's got nothing. Flag is down. That was thrown immediately. I wonder if there was movement even before the play.
I think you're going to get a hold.
It's either a loss of 1 or back to the line of scrimmage. Boy, a hold that quickly and a play that went that took like 2 seconds.
Chop block.
Chop block, I could see that.
But there was no defender there. I mean, he threw it where 2 offensive guys, linemen were, but, hard to tell.
Personal foul against the Mustangs.
Yeah, it is a chop block personal foul against Fort Morgan. That's going to set up a very precarious situation. That should be 2nd down now and about 25 to go from the 30.
Right.
25 with the ball.
Yeah, can't shoot yourself in the foot.
Right.
Quite frankly, Brian, or any other part of the body. Trips to the right. 2nd down and 25 from the 30. Linker with a 5-step drop. Pressure coming over the middle. It's incomplete. Luis Garcia had really no shot, and that's a good job of Linker just getting rid of that ball because there was no shot. He was about to get hit like he did last week when he threw that touchdown pass to Garber in the opening quarter. I mean, incompletions are not necessarily bad, and certainly wasn't bad in that situation.
Right.
It was 3rd down and 25 to go. By the way, that field goal by Jimenez brought to you by Cargill Meat Solutions, committed to feeding the world in a responsible way by reducing environmental impact and improving products and processes. Learn about Cargill's story of commitment at Cargill.com. Trip to the right. 3rd down and 25 for the 30. Linker is back to throw. Plenty of protection, and he throws over the middle incomplete, and that did not come out of his hand correctly. I think he kind of clutched there, trying to get it to Ortega at the 20. Did you see his? And I think the reason the release was like that is because I think he saw a defender, didn't want to throw a pick.
Right. Yeah, he saw that second defender coming in from the other side out of the corner of your eye, maybe, and tried to clutch it. And luckily, threw it into the ground.
I'd love to see Jimenez attempt a 47-yarder, but it's not going to happen. Apparently,
I think he can make it.
Brad, does he have some wind coming his way? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's okay. Brad knows wind. I don't know anything about wind. All right, 4th and 25. They're going to go for it. Linker, again, a deep drop. Looking, pressure coming. He's going to be sacked. He tries to throw it away. But that's either going to be intentional grounding or just a straight-up sack. And in the backfield for Berthoud were Ty Beeman and Connor Liebman. Yeah, I think they're just going to call it a straight-up sack.
No, they threw the flag.
Well, yeah, but it should be at the spot where the foul was committed there with 3:04 to go. So Berthoud will take over on downs. It's a loss of down anyway, but they take over. All right, so Berthoud football to be.
They got an extra 5 yards.
Yeah, they did, because it was a 10-yard loss. We marked that a 10-yard loss, Brian, there for Linker. And then the 5-yard penalty. You know, wouldn't you expect here the Spartans to put up the ball at some point? They really haven't.
I would think so. He's got some, almost 800 yards passing.
And 9 touchdowns.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen much evidence of that in this game. But then again, they've been running fairly well. 1st and 10. Berthoud at their own 45. One setback to the right. Out of the pistol here is Brock Voth with one receiver to the left and one to the right. Actually, 2 in the backfield. And there's the give right up the middle, and that's a nice hole across the 50 as Jimmy Keller was in on the play down to the 49, and that was Lazinski. I tell you, they've had some daylight there. That's a gain of 6. It'll be 2nd down and 4 at the Mustang 49. 2:45 to go, 2nd quarter. Berthoud is in the lead, 9-3. They're 3-0 going into the game. The Mustangs at 2-1. Again from the pistol, 4 yards, 5 yards behind center is Brock Voth. Receivers out to the left and right, 2 each side. Voth looks to his left, goes over the middle of the pass. Is going to be caught. Nope, he did not catch it. In and out of the hands. Incomplete.
And what a huge momentum shift it would be. Fort Morgan getting the ball all the way down to the 20 and not scoring, and then if Berthoud was to come back and score here before half, so Fort Morgan's really going to have to, buck up and get this stop.
The pass on that slant was intended for Jake Rafferty. 3rd down and 4 for Berthoud at the Mustang 49. 2 receivers split out each side. Man in motion to the left is Lazinski. Watch out, he's a major threat. Back to throw. Pressure coming by the Mustangs up the middle. Rolling to his right. It's going down! It's good. Miranda put the finishing touches on him. And, of course, Jimmy Keller was there as well. And it's a loss. Back to the 44. So it's a loss of 7.
And you were asking a minute ago, why don't they get their passing game going? Well, they know that Fort Morgan's going to put the pressure on them, and we're having good coverage as well.
That'll be 4th down and close to 11 yards to go. And Ryan Schmad is going to let the time run down. That's smart on Berthoud's part. I mean, there's no reason for them to snap it early or too quickly here as the clock runs, a minute 37 to go. And now a timeout is called by the Spartans. Yeah, I mean, that's a smart play. You don't want to kick that thing too early, so we'll keep it right here, 9-3 in favor of the Spartans. Brock Voth with that 28-yard touchdown run in the opening quarter, preceded by a safety. And again, every game this season, probably with the exception of Game 2, special teams has played a critical role here.
Yep. We haven't seen Hamer in the game. Is he dinged up at all? Did you hear?
Good question. He's right there on the sideline. Western Engineering Consultants provide civil engineering services for aviation, municipal, commercial, and residential clients in Colorado. Western Engineering is invested and involved in the communities they work in. They want to wish good luck to all the athletes as they compete this year. Western Engineering Consultants. It'll be 4th down and 11 at the 49 for Berthoud. And Ryan Schmott in the punt. Let's see if Luis Garcia at least attempts a fair catch or something, because if that ball goes inside the 20, see, I like the way Garcia's playing this. He's not going to be too deep. And now the Mustangs, are they taking a timeout? Yep, they do. That timeout is brought to you by Ehrlich Toyota East. Whether you're in the market to purchase a new or pre-owned vehicle, Ehrlich Toyota East in Fort Morgan will fit you into the car truck of your choice, serving all of Northeast Colorado. Ehrlich Toyota East. Well, now that you've used your first time out, I wonder if that changes the philosophy and you go for the block here, because you're not going to get great field position if they get the punt off and you don't go for the block and you've only got 2 timeouts. And by the time you get the ball, there's going to be 90 seconds to go in the opening half.
Yeah, just will send them.
And after they called that timeout, I tried to do a quick count, and I almost think that maybe Fort Morgan had 12 kids on the field, and
well, that
they
could
had
have
to call
been.
the timeout to keep from getting a
But
penalty.
Brian's a gambling man. He wants them to go for it. So we'll see what happens.
Well, I'm all for blocking the punt, too.
Well, me three, but you still want to. Well, they got 7 up at the line of scrimmage. Awaiting the snap is Schmott. He's got to get this off quickly. There's the snap. Here comes the rush. He does get it off quickly. End over end. Luis Garcia will field it at the 13, run to his left, and he's taken down at the 15. I think we either had a roughing the punter or running into the punter.
I think it should just be running into the punter.
Yeah, he got it off. That shouldn't be roughing. I mean, he got that off.
Yeah.
That's
a 5-yard penalty. I would think Berthoud declines that penalty and allows the Mustangs to take over at about the 15, maybe the 16-yard line with 1:28 to go before the opening half expires.
Yeah, they're going to decline it. Very good, Coach.
But they declined it, and now they just already told that guy to come down, and we don't even know where the spot is.
It should be the 16. I don't know why he would move. I mean,
because the official.
He did tell him
down.
okay.
Yeah, I'm like, why are you waving him down?
This didn't happen when Kevin Rode was officiating.
Oh well, lucky for the game of football, I never officiated football.
Oh, that's right. It was basketball.
That was a basketball.
Oh, I thought you did football. Brian, I'm a terrible listener. I don't know what's going on with me. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Brian, one key thing we'll do later is look at your nickel package again and compare it to what's actually happened here in the game, because usually, I mean, you've been spot on with that, and right now they're not fulfilling everything. 1st and 10 Mustangs at their own 15. Once again, out of the pistol is Linker. He is back to throw, looking, pressure coming, throws to his left, incomplete at the 23-yard line. And boy, somebody went down along the Fort Morgan sideline.
It might be Bob. No,
Jacob Ortega
Bob Dorn
was the intended receiver. Well, Bob is tough, but you know you got to be careful there.
Dorn.
Yeah.
He came close to hitting his head on the track, so.
Yeah, you got to be careful. You're watching a game on the sideline. I mean, see what happened at Yankee Stadium the other day? A girl got hit by a ball that was hit 105 miles an hour. So, yeah, you always got to be careful if you're that close to the action.
Yeah, earlier in the season when you had me down on the sidelines, that was always in the back of my mind. You know, don't get caught up in the play.
2nd down and 10 for the 15. There's the give up the gut. And driving, and still driving, and down. Boy, they almost like they blew that whistle early. And that is Jimmy Keller. Oh, it was a Keller. Or was that Ortega? Oh, that might have been Ortega. Yeah, I think it was Ortega. Yeah, a gain of 4.
And I think Chisholm's thinking we're going to get the ball at the beginning of the second half. Let's not take any risks and turn
well,
over.
Berthoud might take a timeout here. It's 3rd down and 6 for the 19. Isaac Linker is under center. Linker with a hard count. But a Mustang also moved. Yeah, Keller moved in the backfield. If not, that would have been offsides against Berthoud. But there was flinching in the backfield as well. Yeah, I believe it was either Keller or Ortega, but either way, it doesn't matter. At this point, it's a Fort Morgan penalty. It'll be 3rd down. Well, they're going to call it 3rd and 10.
But now we get another 40 seconds off the clock or whatever. Well, hopefully he comes up and lets as much of the time go as possible.
Well, Berthoud more than likely will call a timeout and go for the block themselves. 3rd down and just over 10 yards to go at their own 15-yard line. Linker's going to hand it off right at the middle. A strong run, and that appears to be Ortega. And now timeout is called across the 20 to the 22, 23-yard line. Let's see where that spot is.
Right about the 20, isn't it?
Yeah, it's only a gain of 5. I thought he got a little bit more, but now 17.7 seconds to go. Timeout is called. And we will keep it right here. And you know they're going to go for the block. And if they go for the block and they don't get it, they'll have the ball in decent field position. Right. Then they'll probably throw a Hail Mary or some hook and ladder or something like that.
Right.
With 17.7 seconds to go, the Mustangs are only down 9-3.
But you're in a situation where it's 4th and less than 5. If they run into the kicker, even the 5-yard penalty will give Fort Morgan the first down.
Yeah, but they don't even care about that because it's not a momentum changer. You're right. It would give Fort Morgan a first down, but that's a risk worth taking.
Yeah.
Lozinski, 1 of 2 back deep to receive.
Looks like they're dropping back and looking to go for the return, though.
Yeah. Luis Garcia is standing near the goal line.
I count 12 on Berthoud, but I don't know if they see that or not.
End over end punt, and that ball's going to drop at the 47-yard line, take a Fort Morgan roll, and it's going to be, was that almost fielded? It was fielded along the sideline at around the 47 or 48. That's a risky play there. 4.3 seconds to go.
Number 15,
so let's see if they risk the fancy, as you say, hook and lateral, or some other type of trick play to get down and score.
No, they're at their own 46. So this will be the final play of the opening half unless there's a defensive penalty.
Right. Melendez kicked up back again here at Berthoud Stadium, Max Marr Stadium. We were talking about Maxes earlier today. There's a Max.
Yeah, there's a Max, yeah. I don't know too many Maxes. That's another one there. Trips to the right out of the pistol formation. Rod Voth, the Berthoud quarterback, with Lozinski in motion to the left. Has the football, back to throw, pressure coming, and he throws deep over the middle, tipped and complete, almost intercepted over there by Garber. Thought he should have had it at around the 35-yard line. That's the end of the opening half with the score. Berthoud 9, Fort Morgan 3 on Morgan County's B106 and B106.net. Along with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde, I'm John Beltran. We'll start the second half here from Berthoud where the Spartans lead the Mustangs 9-3. And gentlemen, it appears we might have another injury issue with the Fort Morgan Mustang.
Yeah, Jimmy Keller was walking off the field while everybody else was getting ready to warm up. He was escorted by a couple coaches, probably off to the locker room, and we haven't seen him come back yet.
Yep, so it looks like he's out at least for now. We'll see if that lasts the rest of the game. Now the Mustangs will receive the second half kickoff trailing by 6.
It looks like they'll have to win at the back in the third quarter. But then the potent
well, if you remember, the best drive they put together so far this season was to begin the second half at Falcon. Mm-hmm. Other than that, every drive has been with a mid-range or short field. It's not really been with a long field, so we'll find out what happens here.
On that field goal that they had, they got that on the turnover on the fumble. They only had to go 15 yards for a touchdown, couldn't do it, and ended up having to kick a field goal. So Berthoud standing tall, that's for sure.
David Sarinata and Jacob Ortega back deep to receive. And Ryan Schmad to kick it off for Berthoud. Yeah, so we'll see a new backfield here for Fort Morgan. At least part of a new backfield. To begin the second half. That ball is booted high and towards the right side and fielded by Ortega at the 7, running to the 15. He's got a seam to the 20. Ortega's still on his feet, and he spins that away all the way across the 30 to the 38. They figure the return of about 30 yards, and the Mustangs have some of that better field position to begin any drive.
Right, and a little bit of momentum.
Might be what it takes to get them going.
Now they'll mark the football at the 40. Neither team amassed 100 yards. They'll call it officially at the 39. And Sadinano's the lone setback. Under center is Linker. He'll hand it off on the end around to Sadinano. He's thrown for a loss back at the 36-yard line. Boy, there was only one defender out there for Berthoud, but he saw him.
Right.
And the tackle was made over there by Ty Beeman, a 6'1", 250-pound junior. Second down, we'll call it 12 at the 37-yard line. It's been a struggle with the Mustangs in the running game so far this year. From the 37, Linker again under center. Will hand it off right up the gut, and that is not biased for a gain of 2, and then he's driven back. Well, I mean, he never went to the ground, but boy, that's the definition of gang tackling right there. Yeah.
The tackle for the split is number 50.
Fort Morgan hasn't figured out the front line of Berthoud, figured out a way to block them at all.
It'll be third down, and we'll call it 10 yards to go. The Mustangs at their own 39-yard line. They will line up with trips to the left. Again, out of the pistol is Isaac Linker awaiting the snap with a receiver to the right. He's going to roll to his left. Throws underneath, the pass is caught along the left side by Garcia. Tries to spin over a tackle, but he's short of a first down. Across the 45 to the 46, it's a gain of 7. Tackle was made by Ryan Schmad. It'll be fourth down and 3. And the Mustangs are in punt formation. Linker now 7 out of 15 passing for 101 yards. Garcia with his third catch for 46. And now Garcia awaiting the snap. It's the left-footed boot. That's a fluttering punt towards the sideline and pouncing on it. And now the ball is loose along the sideline. I have no idea what Berthoud is doing, but they are not using their head at all. No. I mean, they had a turnover in the first quarter. Well, they nearly made a mistake there. I mean, why not just let the ball roll and stop? You're not going to gain anything out of that.
No.
I mean, that is horrific football on special teams, and they got a break that wasn't recovered by the Mustangs.
And unfortunately, right now, those horrendous mistakes are what keeps Fort Morgan in the game. It's about the only thing.
Yeah, I mean, just let that ball roll. You're not doing anything with that. He tried to field it on a roll there along the sideline. And now the football's resting. Let's see, it looks like it's at about the 20. With 9:53 to go, third quarter. Berthoud 9, Fort Morgan 3. Brock Both, 4 yards behind center, awaits a snap from the 20, and he's going to pitch it right, and that is Anima. Anima swings it to the outside, and along the sideline, he's taken down after a short gain. Excellent pursuit out there by the Mustangs. Oh, they're going to say Stratmeyer's dead on the carry. No gain. Boy, that was some outstanding pursuits along the near sideline there. Second down and 10. At the 20-yard line, just a second carry for Stratmeyer. And lining up in the pistol, second down and 10. Brock Voth, the Berthoud quarterback. Man in motion to the right, looking left, dumps it underneath. The pass is caught for a short gain, a very short gain on that slant for about 2 or 3 yards. Miranda around the football, as was Dylan McBride. Danny Pelfrey made the catch, but it's only a gain of a couple.
And my question is, they had such success running the ball, and now they've gone total pass. It's almost like we have to force our passing game to work, and Fort Morgan's obviously taking that away.
Third down and 8 at the 22. Man in motion to the right. Let's see what Vogt does here. He's going to spin. He's going to move to his left. Pressure coming, and he throws underneath incomplete. He was under pressure, and he intended for Ryan Schmad, the tight end, at around the 27-yard line, but that Fort Morgan pressure had the quarterback both off balance, and now Berthoud is the punt.
Yeah, he was running for his life, but I thought he was going to take off running there for a minute. He was so successful with that in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
Then they come out with 3 straight passes and have to punt.
And a huge exchange in field position, too.
He's 4 out of 8 for 34 yards. Schmott awaiting the snap. He's got it. And that punt is a fluttering punt, and Luis Garcia lets it bounce, fields it at the 44, runs to his right, laterally to the 45, a seam to the outside of the 50, and then he's taken out of bounds. Actually, he just ran out of bounds across the 50 in Berthoud territory. That football will be placed at around the 43. It's a return of 13 yards. And again, can Fort Morgan just pick up a first down and get some momentum going? They've really struggled with the offense tonight with only 3 points, and that was on a very, very short field.
Yeah, they got that turnover, and then they couldn't do anything with it except get the field goals. So.
Right. Lining up on that right hash mark, or where the right hash mark would be. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs, the Berthoud 43. 8:17 to go, third quarter. Berthoud leads 9-3. Linker's under center. Linker will hand it off to Narvaez, and he drives towards the 41. But again, very similar to the carry he had on the previous drive. He's not even tackled. He's just basically held by several defenders, and he picks up 2 at 2nd down and 8.
And they just have single coverage out on our wide receivers. They're not even dropping a safety. And so they're putting 9 guys in the box to stop that run game.
If this is a win, Brian, it's not going to be pretty.
No. It's going to be an ugly loss.
2nd down and 8 for the 41 of Berthoud. Linker again under center. Will keep it himself on the option left, but he's going to lose a yard down to the 42. Boy, 2 or 3 Spartans there, including Ryan Schmott. He's been all over the field, whether he's on special teams. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage. That's about it. 3rd down and 8.
I would not want to be the offensive line when they meet tomorrow or Sunday to look at film, because there's going to be some unhappy coaches looking at the missed assignments on the offensive line.
Well, let's see if this is a passing situation. 3rd down and 8. Looks like trips to the right. On 3rd down and 8, to the left is Grayson Garver. Out of the pistol, Linker rolls to his right, still rolling out, still rolling. Pressure, throws up his back foot, intercepted, or was it incomplete? Let's see, I don't know, it might have been caught off the deflection by the Mustangs. Did they catch that off the deflection? They did. It's complete, and a first down. Holy Mahomes, who made that?
Yeah, that was an amazing offensive play there.
It was caught off a deflection. Jacob Ortega's got outstanding hands. Let's see where they place that football.
Number 25, Ortega gets credit for that completed pass.
Wow. Where's that ball at, Brian? He is 43, about the 29. It's a gain of 13. 13 yards and a first down. And Ortega pulled a trick out of the book there. 1st and 10 on the right hash mark from the 29. Linker is back to throw, looking deep up the left sideline. The pass is incomplete. Oh, Grayson Garver at the 2 nearly had it, but it was a little bit too far for him. It'll be 2nd down. Fairly similar to the touchdown last week.
Right? Yep.
It'll be 2nd down, just a little bit too long there for Garver.
He was there, though. It was there. Just got to pull that pass back just a little bit.
And it's hard with this gusting wind to know just where to throw that.
2nd down and 10 to go for the Mustangs. The Berthoud 29. Linker out of the pistol. The pitch right to Narvaez. He swings it back to the inside, but again, they don't have anything. If he got back to the line of scrimmage, that's an accomplishment because they were all there. They have really stymied the Fort Morgan running game.
And somehow our offensive linemen are doing a decent job on pass protection. And, of course, we're keeping a lot in. We're only sending 2 or maybe 3 guys out on the patterns.
Fort Morgan's longest run tonight is 6 yards by Linker. That was in the first quarter. Everything has been well under that for the most part. No gain. 3rd down. And less than 10 to go for the 29. Once again, from the pistol is Linker. Linker with a 3-step drop. There's a deep up the left side. That might be picked off. No, it's incomplete. It's broken up, actually. Broken up by Garver. I think he got a hand underneath the ball because he had no shot to catch that with the defender. The Spartans right there along the left sideline.
Yeah, and that time it was just a little bit too short. So.
Right. Yep, and broken up by Jake Rafferty. Nice defensive play.
Fort Morgan's calling a timeout.
Timeout brought to you by Erling Toyota East. Well, they're not going to attempt a 46-yard field goal.
No.
But you know what? It's hard to have a consistent passing game when you can't run the ball. And that's what the Mustangs, in the absence of John Hokenettle tonight, is really showing, because they don't have that lead fullback at this point.
And there's also some linemen that are on the sideline without their pads on that obviously are hurt. They could be helping out, at least rotating in and giving people a break.
So see what they come up with, a 4th and 9.
Yep, just inside the 29. Or at the 28. And the Mustangs will go for it. Linker again in the pistol. Narvaez is right behind him. 2 receivers to the left. Now Ortega's in motion to the right. Linker back to throw, looking left, throwing left, and complete. But does Garber have a first down? I believe he does. He's right beyond the first down marker at the 16.
And that's what you do. You throw long several times and make them worry about you going long, and then you throw a little cutoff pass where he just stops at a given point and throw to him.
Let's give him 12 yards there, Brian, and a first down for Grayson Garber.
Used his basketball skills on that one, went up high for the rebound for sure.
1st and 10 at the 17, 5:24 to go in the third. Mustangs trail by 6. Linker looking to throw. A fade up the left side, and it is incomplete, intended for Garber in the end zone.
Well, we got pass interference.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like he was held up at around the 3. And, the flag is laying down on the goal line.
Yes. That's what we need to do is we've got one-on-one coverage out there on Garber. Let's just keep throwing and let Garber win it or lose it.
Oh, Linker's got a good arm. Garber's got the hands. You might as well do it.
Force them to drop to double coverage, and then maybe that opens up the middle for running.
All right, that should be half the distance.
This might be the drive that we'll all remember as saving the season.
Yeah. 1st and goal. No, actually, it's 1st and 2. 1st and 2 at the 9, it looks like. Yep. At the 8. 1st and 2 at the 8. Linker out of the gun. Handoff. Narvaez right side. First down. He's inside the 5. Narvaez drives to about the 3. Maybe the 2. Clock is stopped for the movement of the chains, but it really doesn't matter at this point. It'll mark it. Let's see along the sideline. They've got that.
First down.
Yeah, looks like a 2. Gain of 6. The Mustangs looking for their first touchdown of the game from the 2. Out of the pistol. Linker is going to keep it off left tackle. Drives towards the goal line. Is he in? He's in. Touchdown. Touchdown for Isaac Linker from 2 yards away. And the Mustangs have tied the game at 9.
Yeah, put it in the hands of your little linebacker quarterback, and he got some good push into the end zone.
Right. That was a good choice for a play. Just kind of a finishing off a really nice drive that they had to do some finesse with, but good physical finish.
The extra point to be attempted by Adam Cardona. This is a huge PAT. The snap, the kick is up. That looks good from here, and it is. 4:42 to go, third quarter. With the score, Fort Morgan 10, Berthoud 9 on Morgan County's B106 and B106.net. The Mustangs take the lead 10-9 over Berthoud on a 2-yard run by Linker. Go ahead and recap the drive, Brian.
Yeah, they started from the Berthoud 44-yard line. 9 plays. Linker takes it in from the 2-yard line for the touchdown. The PAT is good by Cardona. Didn't take quite about 3.5 minutes off the clock.
We'll say Jimenez to kick it off. Yeah, but let's not forget that play that Ortega caught that pass off that. I don't know what that was, but Ortega made a play there that certainly made the difference on that drive. And then, of course, there was the 4th down conversion to Grayson Garber.
A couple of big plays on that drive.
All right, high and towards the sideline, fielded it around the 5. That might be Sarmiento or Lazinski along the sideline. He's got a seam across the 25 to the 30. Still in his feet. Mustangs was having the ball. The ball was stripped away, and Fort Morgan's got it. Fort Morgan has the football. Is that Cardona taking it away?
I don't know, he took it right out of his hands, didn't he?
Maybe.
Yeah, he took it. Yeah, the ball was never loose. It was just wrestled away.
One more Theo Luna, maybe, number 9.
Yeah. You always look for who they're embracing, who they're hugging.
Right.
Boy, that was. I mean, what a crazy season. We saw the play last week with Ortega at the bottom of the pile, but now this happened. But this was legit.
Right.
Yeah, this was legit. And that happened at around the 42-yard line. Again, the ball never hit the ground. This was one where the ball carrier was just had his might and will taken away from him. Yep. 1st and 10. The Mustangs at the 42 of the Spartans. Linkers under center. Hand off to Ortega right up the gut. He's got a couple of yards. Then he's going to be driven back. I tell you what, Berthoud knows how to drive him back. I don't know if they know how to put him on the ground as much because we've seen quite a few of those. But nonetheless, it's a gain of about 2.
Doesn't even look like they're trying to strip him either.
No. But Jacob is securing that football after he did have a fumble last week that was legit. 2nd down and 8 for the 40-yard line. 10-9 Fort Morgan approaching the 4-minute mark here in the 3rd quarter. Laker now in the pistol. Danny Narvaez, another sophomore, is the lone setback. Has the football. Linker looking to throw, rolling, stopping, setting. Now he's going to be sacked. He's taken down, and that was a coverage sack, and that was Ty Beeman, a 6'1", 250-pound senior defensive end that finally got there. And right back to the 42. So it's a lot. Maybe the 43 loss of about 3 for Linker. Well, they'll call it 3rd down at about 10.
Now they are dropping back into double coverage on Garber.
2 receivers split each side. Low snap. Linker to throw. Looking left sideline. Deep up the left side, but it's incomplete. It's way over the head and hands of the intended receiver. And now we've got a flag down. I think there might be some offensive interference based on the reaction of the Berthoud corner. And as Garber was trying to get some position over there.
And I'm thinking they're going to decline it anyway because why move them back 4 or 10 and give them another shot? But
well, the only reason they might take the penalties for the field position, but why? Is it going to make that much of a difference? But yeah, I guess it is going to make the difference.
That's a 15-yarder too. That's
and you take the penalty there. Yeah. You want the field position. So now it'll be 3rd and 25.
Fort Morgan faithful not liking that.
No, but I mean that's part of the game here. 3rd down and 25 for the 42. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Not buys the lone setback. I mean, maybe they try to hand it off and just get some yardage. Linker to throw. 3-step drop over the middle. The pass is complete to Luis Garcia to the 47. Maybe the 46. It's a gain of 12 yards. Garcia with his 4th reception. And now the Mustangs will have to punt. But instead of a 4th and 25, now it's a 4th and 13. And Luis Garcia to punt. He can still put them in poor field position. Here comes the rush. He gets it off. And that punt is going to land towards the middle of the field into the end zone. Well, a net of only 26 yards, a punt of 46, and Berthoud will have it at their own 20-yard line. 2:43 to go, 3rd quarter, and the Mustangs, who've trailed for the majority of the game, now lead 10-9 on Isaac Linker's 2-yard touchdown run.
Now it's back on the shoulders of the defense again out there without Jimmy Keller at linebacker. Still a mystery what happened to him.
Well, the big difference in this game has been turnovers as well. The Mustangs have come up with 3 of them, and Berthoud has none. Or not none defensively, but they've committed 3. Out of the gun again, Both is going to hand the football off and stuff to the backfield. For a loss of a couple. Well, that's a big play by James Moody. There was another defender around there, Bobby Tolson.
Talked about at halftime.
That was a big hit, yeah. I don't know who had the football, though.
Talking about at halftime how Fort Morgan needs to pick up his physicality, and here they are trying to take it to him.
Loss of 2, 2nd down and 12 from the 18-yard line. Again, both 5 yards behind center. Back to throw, looking to his right, setting up a screen, and it's broken up. Broken up by Miranda, who got his right hand on the football, and he read that perfectly. 3rd down.
I would have loved to see him catch that and rumble, stumble, bumble into the end zone.
That probably would have been the description.
Yep.
Those big guys, that's the way they run when they come up with plays like that. Berthoud is 4 out of 9 passing for 34 yards. 3rd down and 12 from the 18. Berthoud is going to roll to his right. Still rolling out, still rolling out. He's going to heave it deep up the middle. That pass is going to be picked off. It was a drop. It was dropped. It was dropped by Moyer at the 50. It almost looked too easy for him because that was descending right into his hands. Jake Rafferty was the intended receiver. And again, the wind certainly played a role in that throw.
Right. Yeah, they're throwing right into that wind. We'll see what happens when they get the ball going the other way. So,
Ryan Schmad to punt. Garcia back deep to receive. Snap is there, and that kick is high and short. That's not going too far there. Watch out. Don't get your hands on it. Takes a side spin, and now it takes a Fort Morgan roll towards the 41. That's only a punt of 23 yards, and the Mustangs with a good field position, leading 10-9.
they need to take advantage of this short field. They've gotten the ball twice here now. They need to put it in the end zone.
I'd say the way this game started, it didn't look good for Fort Morgan, but they rebounded nicely after being down 9-0. 1st and 10 for Fort Morgan at the Berthoud 41. Andrew Monroe is the receiver to the right. Wide to the left is Luis Garcia. Linker is going to hand it off right up the middle to Narvaez, and he's got a yard to the 40. And again, you can hear that wind pick up big time. 2nd down and 9.
And Alex Reese.
Yeah, not a lot of room there.
Narvaez has just 9 yards on 6 carries. I mean, that's one of the stories for the Mustangs. The ground game has been absent. 2nd down and 9 for the 40. Again, Linker's under center. This time Linker will hand it off again to Narvaez. He lunges to the 39. Gets a yard. And man, this kid, Hunter Valiant, he's been in on quite a few plays. It's 3rd down and 8 to go for the Mustangs.
63.
You got to give a lot of credit to the Berthoud defense. They've been stout on the run.
Grayson Garver checks into the game on this 3rd and 8. Could be 4-down territory from the 39. In Berthoud territory, 2 receivers split out to the left and to the right. Narvaez a lone setback. In the pistol, Linker, 3-step drop, looks, and had his hand hit. It's incomplete. He was trying to release the ball, but his right hand was hit by Ty Beeman. It'll be 4th down. And now let's see what Fort Morgan does. Are they going to play field position, or are they going to, well, Linker's not in there, so it looks like they're going to punt.
With the ball still at about the 30.
Yeah, they're going to play. It is a defensive game, so and you certainly can back them up.
And if Berthoud doesn't go back to their running game, I'm going to have to question what's going on with their coaches.
And the ball is blocked, but it's picked up by a Mustang. Well, actually just dropping on it, but it was blocked. It was a low kick, and it was blocked on the punt, and Berthoud has much better field position than they anticipated at their own 39 now, with 35.2 seconds to go in the 3rd.
One play, and then they'll have the wind with them behind them.
Wow. Well, again, special teams.
Yep. Yeah, it's played a big part here.
1st and 10, Berthoud at their own 39. And from the pistol here is Brock Voth, the quarterback. Man in motion to the right. Voth, play action, throws in the middle, caught by Schmad. Schmad is in the clear at the 30, breaks out of a tackle at the 20, and he is gone at the 5 touchdowns. Boy, just like that, 61 yards from Voth to Schmad, and Berthoud has reclaimed the lead. It's 15-10. Wow.
He just looks like a little juke into the middle there, and he was wide open.
Well, let's see if they go for a 2-point conversion here to make it a 7-point game. So that's done Fort Morgan right there. Yeah, they're going to go for 2. Try to go by 7. All right. out of the pistol. The two-point conversion awaiting the snap. Is both. Lobs it right side, and that is incomplete. It's broken up. Luis Garcia right there. We'll keep it right here because we've only got 26.1 seconds to go.
And now 2 field goals will win the game for Fort Morgan.
Well,
but we got to get the ball down there to where we can kick those field goals.
Yeah, and that's been an issue. I mean, they did score earlier in the quarter.
Yeah, they've had 2 good opportunities right here, starting in Berthoud territory, and couldn't take advantage.
Well, you talk about guys going both ways, Kevin. Ryan Schmad, he's punted, he's kicked, he's made plays on defense, and now he just caught a 61-yarder, and he did the majority of that himself, breaking out of a tackle at around the 35 and taking it the rest of the way. Off the throw from Brock Voth.
And he just kept making distance on that Fort Morgan defender. You know, one of the strengths of Fort Morgan's defense is their quickness and their speed, and they weren't quick enough that time.
Here we go. Let's see if the Mustangs can do something special on special teams. Now we're trying to shield away from this wind, but it's virtually impossible here. All right, that kick is high, and it's going to be fielded by Ortega at around the 5, running straight ahead to the 15, the 20. Ortega with a speed to the 35. The flag is down, though, as he's tackled. Ortega is tackled across the 40 to the 43, but there's a flag down, and more than likely it would have come back had Ortega gone the distance because the flag is probably around an area where Fort Morgan committed some sort of penalty. Yeah.
There's a lot of laundry out there. There's a hold all the way back at the 26, 27.
So we'll see which one they'll find. This one here. The one back there.
Well, let's see what back there is. So either way, they had no shot there.
Except the one from about the 31 or so.
Well, we've got a little excitement watching Al in there. Jacob. He almost got through. Yep, Jacob, sorry.
1st and 10. That football is just beyond the 21-yard line. Back to throw. Linker to his left. Wide open, and it's dropped by Garber. Wide open to the 31. He didn't look it in. It'll be 2nd down, and that's a rare drop for a receiver with sure hands.
Yep, you got to look that in. Those are big plays in a game like this.
2nd down and 10 to go. We've got 14.3 seconds to go. That was pass attempt number 21 for Isaac Linker. Again, out of the pistol. Linker stutter steps, runs to his left, and he's taken down after a gain of about 2, maybe 3. And that'll be the final play of the 3rd quarter with the score. Berthoud 15, Holy Family 10. It's a 1-minute break on Morgan County's B106 and B106.net. Let's head to the 4th quarter in Berthoud. The Mustangs are down by 5. It is 15-10, and they've got the football 2nd down and 10, just past their own 21. Isaac Linker. Check that. 3rd and 7. 3rd and 7 for the 24. Linker out of the pistol. Back to throw. Looking deep up the right side. It is broken up. Broken up at the 45. Garcia was out there as he lobbed it towards the sideline.
Yeah, the wind kind of held it up, and the defender was able to catch up with that.
Yeah, that was Jeff Glasser who knocked it away. And it looked like he turned around just in time.
Yeah, it's thrown right into that northwest wind. No chance.
Now we've got to punt into it, so we'll give them good field position.
Garcia to punt. And that is a fluttering ball. A lot of these flutterers tonight along the sideline, and that's going to be near midfield. Takes a Berthoud roll, and it's in Fort Morgan territory at about the 47, so they only went for about 23 yards. I tell you, now you got to play defense. If not, Berthoud can go a long way towards cementing this game, Brian.
Yeah, we'll see if they start running the ball a little bit more, try to eat this clock up where they were so successful in the first half.
First and 10, Berthoud at the Fort Morgan 47, 18 seconds into the fourth. Both just threw a 61-yard touchdown pass to Ryan Schmad again out of the pistol, and both will hand it off right up the gut. And a gain of about 2, and that, let's see if that's Anima. It is. A.J. Anima. Danny not Myers. Right around the football, there's a Spartan down, slow to get up.
There's a Spartan player down on the field.
And, well, going to get up, limp off the field. That looks like, I don't know if that's Anima himself. We'll call it a gain of 3, second down and 3 to go for the Spartans.
Another action in Fort Morgan's league. Meade is beating Longmont 28-14 now in the third, and the big surprise, Roosevelt, who beat Longmont last week, is now beating Silver Creek 16-6.
And keep in mind that if you're listening to the replay, these scores have gone final, but live, these are those are current scores. Second down, we'll call it a long 7 from the Mustang 44-yard line. Once again out of the pistol. Both looking to his left, throws. That pass is complete underneath. And a gain of about 4 or 5. Donovan Moya makes a big hit. But it is a gain of 5. The pass was caught over there by Rafferty. I mean, that's a very effective play.
Oh, yeah.
Get you 5, 6 yards here.
And you throw that a couple times, the defenders start sneaking up, and then you can dump one over the top. So,
right now, you've got a 3rd and 1 from the 38-yard line. Let's see if this is a simple handoff. And both might call timeout as you're looking towards the sideline. In the backfield with him is Cooper Stratmeyer. All right, now he's just circling around the backfield. Play clock is down to 3. Play clock to 2. They might get a delay of game. He doesn't get it off. High snap, and he's going to keep it himself. And they've got him in the backfield. Dylan McBride has got him. And so does another Mustang and Isaac Laker. So a 3rd and 1 becomes a 4th and about 3, maybe more than that. Oh, that's a big time loss back to the 41. It's a loss of 3. Goes to 4. It'll be 4th and about 5 to go. And that's a huge play for both McBride and Linker.
And with Fort Morgan's ineptitude on offense, it's a no-brainer to punt this ball down off the wind.
That type of chaos on offense there, it was odd because it was only a 3rd and 1.
Yeah.
All right, Schmad to punt. And he gets off a beauty. End over, and that's going to, let's see if it lands in the end zone. It does. Over the head of Luis Garcia. Well, this is it. This is going to be a money drive for Fort Morgan. Right. As they've got it at their own 20. And they are really short-handed in this game. John Hocanetto out. Trey McBride's been out. Jimmy Keller is out. And we're talking about 3 key seniors, so they've got to get it done with a next man up philosophy. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 20. Linker again from the pistol formation. In motion to the right is Ortega. He's got it out in the flat. Stutter steps, takes it back to the inside, and Ortega's got some daylight, but then he's down after a short gain. Let's see how much they give him. It's a gain of around, we'll call it about 4 yards. Second down and 6. That was pass attempt number 22 for Jacob Ortega. For Isaac Linker. That was 2 Ortega, obviously, and that's we'll pick up on that yards here. Second down and 6 to go for the 24. 8:50 to go in the game. 15-10 Berthoud. Linker has the football rolling out to his right, throwing underneath. That pass is caught along the sideline, short of a 1st down, and it's brought by Luis Garcia to about the 29. Let's see if they give him that far, maybe the 28.
Slight gain on the play, about 3 yards. It's going to bring up.
We'll call it a 3rd down and a long 1. We'll give close to 5, actually.
Like you said,
Garcia with his 5th reception. Sorry, Kevin.
As you said, this is an all-important drive. They don't have any more opportunities after this.
3rd and 1. Trips to the right. Linker is going to roll to his right. Sets. Throws, and the pass is going to be complete. And he's going to be interfered with at the 50. Wow. Miguel Sarmiento was all over Garcia, and that's an odd defensive maneuver there because he was double teamed.
Right.
I mean, it's hard enough to get the ball in there, but you give the Mustangs a big break if you just play the ball, which is easier said than done, but especially with a double team. Then it's going to be a 4th and 1, but the Mustangs will take it. And they've got the football now at the 43-yard line. Off that penalty by Berthoud. 57 yards away from taking the lead.
Got to take advantage of it.
1st and 10 at the 43. Grayson Garver is the receiver to the left, 3 out to the right. Linker from the pistol, rolls out to his right, sets, now takes off for the football, and he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage. And that's about it, as he's corralled by 3 defenders, including Ty Beeman and Ryan Schmad.
That's the problem with rolling to the right when that's the close side of the field. You run out of room, and they just got a big bunch of traffic.
2nd down and 10. For the Mustangs. By the time the next play commences, we'll be under 8 minutes to go in the game.
Yeah, different than I thought it was going to be. This Berthoud team is...
No, they played hard. Yeah, I mean, they've led for most of the game. 2nd down and 10, Fort Morgan at their own 43-yard line. Again, 3 receivers to the right. Linker looking to throw, setting up, plenty of protection over the middle. The pass is complete. Oh, dropped. Holy Mahungus Ortega looked like he was there at the 42, but it was dropped. It was a low throw, but I think it was put in the perfect spot because it wasn't too much of a window there, but nonetheless, 3rd down and 10. We've had quite a few drops in this game, mainly in the first half.
Yeah, hit him right in the bread basket, looked like to me.
Well, but then again, Jacob made a heck of a play on that drive where I don't know how he caught the ball off that deflection. So you lose one, you gain one, or vice versa. 3rd down and 10 for the 43. The Mustangs on their own side of the field. Linker is back to throw. Again over the middle. Complete! That's a 1st down to the 44. And that is caught by Andrew Monroe. And it's a gain of 13 yards. Monroe with his 2nd reception. And again, it's going to be the passing game for the Mustangs. Plenty of time. 7.5 to go. The Mustangs have 2 timeouts, but that's not a factor as we're not even midway through the 4th quarter at this point. 1st down and 10. The Mustangs at the 44. Berthoud. Linker again out of the pistol. He's got a 5-step drop. Deep over the middle. Monroe is out there. It's incomplete. And we might have another interference penalty. Again, double teams. But I guess they're getting their hands on him. I don't think Monroe pushed off. I think that's a defensive penalty. And let's see, the officials are discussing it, but I'm sure that's going to be the call. Yep. Defensive pass interference. That's the 2nd one on this drive.
Yeah. And you're right, they have double coverage, and we're still, Linker's still finding the open receiver and forcing it in there, and all Berthoud can do is tackle or hold up or run into our receivers.
1st and 10 for the Mustangs at the 29. Looking for the go-ahead score. Linker is going to run off left tackle, and he drives towards the 26, maybe the 25. A little bit of a keeper there. Gains 3, 2nd down and 7. We're under 7 minutes to go in the game.
Now they want to run a little time off.
Well, I mean,
you want to score.
Do so, yeah. You got to do so much,
but
you're asking for a lot, Brian. We don't know how to. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to score with like 20 seconds to go.
Yeah, right.
But unless this is the longest drive in the history of football, with only 26 yards time-wise, that's going to be hard to accomplish. Trips to the right, 1 to the left, 2nd down and 7 for the 26. Low slap. Linker to throw off his back foot. It's tipped and it's intercepted. It is intercepted off the deflection, and still moving with that football and running across the 20 towards the 25. Not sure who picked it off, but it was off the deflection. A Mustang had a hand on the ball, but it was not secured. And now the Mustangs have turned it over for the first time in the game. And now they're going to have to come up with a big defensive play.
Yeah, there it was dropped over there. Just saying he was down.
That was Miguel Sarmiento. How about that? The guy who committed the 2 pass interference penalties comes up with the deflection.
Morgan's got to be careful that they don't just let someone get behind them and get a quick score, and then this thing will be over.
1st and 10, Berthoud. Football's just shy. Looks like it's a 25, and this will be the quarterback keeping it to his right.
Got a hole in the backfield.
Yep. Gain of around 10. But yeah, we do have a penalty. Let's see what the penalty is. It is against Berthoud. You can tell that wind just kicking up here over the final 6 minutes and 12 seconds of the game. I mean, it started a while ago. I mean, I don't know what we know one thing, that penalty yardage has gone really against Berthoud more so than Fort Morgan.
Penalties and turnovers, that's pretty much what's got Fort Morgan in this game.
It'll be 1st and 20 for the 14. Under 6 minutes to go from Berthoud. 15 to 10 Berthoud. Out of the pistol here is both. Backs each side, awaiting the snap. Man in motion is Lazinski to the left. Back to throw. A screen set up to the right side. It's caught underneath along the right sideline across the 25 to the 30. That is Cooper Stratmeyer, and we have an offside maybe. I don't know what I saw the time. Or did he go out of bounds? I don't know why the official stopped the clock from here.
Right, because, well...
Yeah, he doesn't have a first down. Penalty. Yeah, it is a penalty.
See a flag thrown on the other side somewhere.
Yeah. It is against Berthoud. Well, they're going backwards. The amount of penalties they've been committing.
Wow. Very sloppy game on both sides.
Yep. Well, the penalty was committed downfield.
Right, so it's about a first and
14. With a football now at the 20. Again, out of the pistol. Brought both. First and trips to the left. Man in motion to the right is Stratmeyer. And back to throw. And the throw towards the right sideline. Caught by Stratmeyer. Stratmeyer at the 50. Stratmeyer into the secondary as Grayson Garber makes the tackle. That's a huge gain. Across the 30 to about the 25-yard line. A late flag. There's a late flag. It's going to be a gain of close to about 55 yards. We'll see where the official spot is. But the man in motion, Stratmeyer, made the catch, and he was on the dead run as he was making that catch, and he just kept going.
I don't know what the penalty is over there.
Well, it was obviously after the play. And I'm guessing it's unsportsmanlike, but we'll see. I don't know which side.
And they're talking... I don't know, Fort Morgan doesn't look like they like the call.
Well, it looks like a gain of, is that to the 31?
All in sports.
Well, we'll call it a gain of 49 there.
We just threw another one?
Yep.
Yeah, they threw a second one. I mean, come on, let's play. This is high school football. They got to clean this up a little bit. You know.
I don't know what the...
I mean, yeah. And after all, now when you're, you know, 5:13 to go in the game. Let's recap here. 15-10 in favor of Berthoud. They had a safety to begin the game. Then Brock Voth with a 28-yard run later in the first quarter made it 9-0. Jose Jimenez kicked a 25-yard field goal in the second. 9-3 was the halftime score. And then the Mustangs took the lead in the third on a 2-yard run by Isaac Linker, making it 10-9.
And Berthoud, dodged a bullet there. The second flag was just a sideline warning rather than a personal foul, and that's, you know, whatever. So,
all right, again, I guess it's 50 yards officially there since it's at the 45, just inside the 45. Now the Mustangs need to come up with a turnover. They've got 2 timeouts remaining. Time could be a factor here. 2 receivers out to the left on 1st and 10 from the 45. Stutter stepping, Colt running to his right, across the 45 towards the 40, and then he's still going, and he's down inside the 40 to about 37 maybe. It's a strong run.
7-yard line where it's going to be second down for the Spartans.
Yeah, they're running the clock. That's what they need to do. If they want to keep the ball away from the Mustangs.
Gain of about 7 for both. Tough to come back here. They can't get the ball back with 4:39 to go. Second down and 3 to go from about the 38. Mustangs need a play here. They need to make a big play down the stretch on defense. And Both has the football, stutter stepping, runs towards the middle. He's short of the first down, but he does have a yard or two. And let's see who got up off the pile. Dylan McBride in on the hit. Third down and less than 2 yards to go for Berthoud. And when this play commences, we'll be under 4 minutes to go in the game.
Started this drive at 6:18 on the clock.
Third down and less than 2 to go from the 36. You'd think that they're going to run this football somehow. Both again out of the pistol. And see, now he's doing that Peyton Manning deal where he's touching offensive linemen. Now Berthoud calls a timeout.
Yeah, the back judge is starting to do his count, so we need time was short.
Well, the clock is at 3 minutes and 42 seconds. 3:42 to go in the game. Berthoud leads Fort Morgan 50-10. The Mustangs led briefly in the third quarter on Isaac Linker's 2-yard run. But then the Spartans came right back on that 61-yarder on that little slant. And that went to Ryan Schmad, who's been a difference maker. So here we go, third down and 2 to go at the 36. Berthoud is in Fort Morgan territory. Again from the pistol. Both has the football, keeps it himself, and he breaks a tackle. First down. A first down tackle from behind by Miranda, but he's going to get to about the 33.
Now, without a turnover, it's pretty much going to be done. So we'll be able to get this down to under 2 minutes for sure.
Well, the Mustangs will be using their timeouts here. There's no doubt about it. I mean, they have no other choice with 3:19 to go and the clock is running. 2 receivers split each side. Stratmeyer, the lone setback. Let's see if Both takes off with the football himself, and he will not. He'll hand it off to Stratmeyer across the right side, and he drives towards a first down. He's inside the 25. Let's see if he's got it. Yep, they're going to move the chains. He's got a first down, maybe to about the 21 or 22. Gain of, we'll call it 13 here for Stratmeyer, and all of a sudden, that running game is going.
Right. I think Fort Morgan's probably starting to stunt and try and take some risks to get a turnover or a big hit instead of playing their base defense, and that's when you get bigger runs.
Yeah, it's at the 19 officially. First down. Well, you're better off getting the first down than the 2nd and 1, and just to start with some fresh downs here. And this will be a keeper by Both, but he's going to be taken down in the backfield, running to his right. Looked like Tolson was over there along the sideline with Linker. Now let's see if Fort Morgan calls a timeout on the loss. 2:25, the clock is running. The Mustangs trail by 5. If not, they'll take timeouts after the next 2 plays. It'll be 2nd down and 12 from the 21. Yeah, so if Fort Morgan can stop them, they could get the football with about 1:40 some odd to go. Yeah. Stop them over the next 2 plays. Because they're going to chew up time right here. Maybe 1.5 minutes to go. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
2nd down and 12 to go. Under 2 minutes to go in the game. Again, 4 yards behind center is Both, awaiting the snap. The direct snap. Now, here's the option left. A seam to the outside for Lazinski, and tries to stiff arm a defender. He might be headed out of bounds, and he is. That'll stop the clock. Short of a first down, but he got sizable yardage towards the, maybe the 13-yard line.
Yeah, that was a big play, but what a mistake to go out of bounds.
Maybe even further than that. He might have got to the 10. Wow. Yeah, that's a gain of 10. It'll be 3rd and 1, so he didn't stay in bounds, but it's only a 3rd and 1 now after that gain by Lazinski. So the ball is resting at the 11. or check that at the 10. They've got to get to the 9. 3rd down and 1. 1:43 to go in the game. Voth will run off left tackle. I think he's got a first down. He does. He's driven back, but he's got a first down. Boy, that might be it for the Mustangs and their chances of winning this game.
Yeah, it's. I think they would have had a hard time coming down and scoring with 1.5 minutes to go. But now, Berthoud's going to be able to get it down under 1 minute.
5 yards there for Voth.
First and goal. Berthoud took this over with 6:18 left on the clock. This is what a running game will do for you to salt the game away.
They had the running game. The Mustangs did not tonight.
Right.
First and goal from the 5. One setback. That's Anima. Voth keeps it himself off the left side, and he drives towards the goal line, and he's in. It's a touchdown for Brock Voth. 5 yards away. That's his second touchdown of the game. And Berthoud now leads Fort Morgan 21-10.
Well, Berthoud might be for real here.
Right.
Well,
they'll have some good competition when they get in the league, and they've got to go up against Holy Family, Meade, and Roosevelt, who's given Silver Creek all they need. So we'll find out. But Fort Morgan definitely has a lot more questions to answer than anyone.
Yeah. Now we got penalty flags all over the field.
Offsides on Fort Morgan.
Offsides against Fort Morgan.
Yeah, they never got on track tonight. They had the one drive. But even that drive, they struggled. I mean, they needed a 4th down conversion. They needed a deflection called by Jacob Ortega to get the ball down the field. Ryan Schmad to attempt the extra point, and we have another flag down. I think the Mustangs might have been offsides again, but we'll see. Yep. Yeah, just a frustrating night.
You know, Fort Morgan lost so many good players from last year's team, and their defense came back and was going to be really strong, and the offense was going to be kind of the question mark. But you take 5-6 kids out of that equation.
Yeah, so many injuries.
It's just tough.
I mean, I know it's next man up, but at the same time, not easy to replace McBride, Keller, and Hokenedel even for one game. And that line drive extra point is good. 57.7 seconds to go. And we won't go anywhere. It's 22-10. In favor of Berthoud. Well, gentlemen, I don't think we're surprised that with a 3-0 record, that especially the injuries, that Berthoud could win the game. But after Fort Morgan took the lead, I don't know if we saw this coming.
No, I thought once they got the lead, that got him going, got him hyped up again, but that quick 61-yard pass, and that just deflated him.
The lead and the ball in Berthoud territory, but, you know, it...
I go back to the interception that he threw, and it was a tip. It wasn't necessarily his fault.
Right.
But that killed our last chances, really, because that was before they went down and scored. And if we could have scored there, maybe the momentum would have stayed with us.
You got a pretty stout defense. You know, Fort Morgan had those 2 drives that started inside their Berthoud territory and couldn't capitalize on either possession.
Yeah. Ryan Schmad to kick it off. And that's a little pooch kick, and the ball's going to be fielded at around the 30-yard line, and running to his right, stutter stepping back towards the middle, and still on his feet. I got to get a number on that.
It was Monroe.
And Andrew Monroe. And Monroe to about the 34, 35. So he actually fielded that back at around the 20-some-odd yard line.
A lot of work to do before next week, that's for sure. Hopefully some of these kids will come back and be able to play next week.
It'll be at the 34. Well, Hokenedel should be back. But again, you're going to have to start winning too, to make sure you make the playoffs. Out of the pistol, Linker, low snap, back to throw, pressure coming, rolls to his left, still rolling. He's going to run along the sideline, and he's going to go out of bounds as he crosses the 40-yard line. Isaac Linker gaining about 9 yards on the play. It'll be second down and 1, 41.6 seconds to go. This is Berthoud's biggest lead of the game. They were up 9-0 early. On second down and 1 from the 42. Linker rolls out to his right, throws off his back foot. That is intercepted. It is intercepted at the 48-yard line, a diving interception by Jake Yuska. 5'11", 165-pound senior.
I think that's his fourth on the season. He had one that he ran back for a touchdown earlier this season.
Well, Linker threw 25 passes without an interception in this game, and his last 2 were picked off.
Yeah.
And now Berthoud is just going to take a knee. Yep, and secure the game. Yep, for one of the few times they'll line up under center. And that's going to be it. Not only the Mustangs will no reason to use a timeout here. That should be it. And the Berthoud Spartans, surprising this classification, they're going to improve to 4-0. A team that was just 2-8 1 year ago, lost to Fort Morgan 39-0, and now they're sitting at 4-0. And I don't think they've got to take another snap. No, that's it. Final score: Berthoud 22, Fort Morgan 10. On Morgan County's B106 and B106.net.
Oh, possibly.
The
Yeah.
Mustang post-game show is brought to you by Morgan Community College. Find out why Morgan Community College is the best choice for your higher education. Visit MCC online at morgancc.edu. That's Morgan Community College. We're there to help you imagine, believe, and achieve your goals at Morgan Community College. John Beltran back with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde as the Mustangs go down to defeat tonight. The final score, as we are also on Facebook Live as well as Morgan County's B106 and B106.net, as Berthoud wins the game 22-10. The Mustangs fell behind early in this game, gentlemen, 9-0. A safety by Berthoud, and then Broadvost's 28-yard run. The Mustangs had a couple of opportunities to score in the first half, but they got a missed field goal from Adam Cardona, and then Jose Jimenez kicked a 25-yard field goal, 9-3 at the break, and then Fort Morgan was finally able to get on the board in the third quarter on Isaac Linker's 2-yard run, capping off. Brian, was a pretty short drive in terms of plays, but at least they finally got on the board because that was the only touchdown they had all night.
Yeah, they started from the Berthoud 44-yard line, took 9 plays. Linker took it in, as you said, from 2 yards out, and Cardona with the PAT made it 10-9.
Well, and then Kevin had mentioned after Fort Morgan took a 10-9 lead that he expected Berthoud to go to the running game, which was successful early in the quarter. But you never know what happens because it was the one pass that essentially turned this game in Berthoud's favor.
Right, 61-yard pass from Vogt to Schmad, and that put them up, and they didn't look back after that. They got the ball back, 6:18 left in the game, and ran it down, got it down to about 50 seconds, put it in the end zone, and PAT was good, made it 22-10.
Yeah, and that was Brock Vogt with a 5-yarder, as Vogt was certainly very productive tonight. You know, he had quite a few carries there down the stretch to try to put it away. In fact, like I mentioned, he had 2 touchdowns in the game. But quite frankly, Kevin, I think if you look at both running games, Fort Morgan's and Berthoud's, I mean, Berthoud's running game was obviously a lot more consistent than Fort Morgan's tonight.
Absolutely, and they had so many options, you know, with all the motion and the pistol. And anytime you throw a quarterback in there that can really move fast and run well, that just puts all sorts of pressure onto your defense. And then the fact that he can throw, too, and you have to drop people back to double cover some of the receivers. It was just a hard night for the Fort Morgan defense, and I think they've got another hard night coming up next week.
Well, there's no question about it. In fact, Linker with 27 pass attempts threw for 166 yards. Let's see, unofficially he completed 13 of those 27. He was intercepted on the final 2. And now I know Linker's got a good, strong arm, but if you're going to throw the ball nearly 30 times, it's probably an indication that you just don't have the running game.
Yeah, they can't get the running game going. It's something they're going to have to work on. But once again, their fullback was out tonight, so that makes a big difference when you don't have that lead back in there. But he was also, up until now, he's been getting a lot of yardage too, not just not in the blocking area.
Yeah, John has had quite a few yards when he's carried the football, but Linker had 3 carries for 16 yards, then a -2, a -6, a -8, a -10. They were taking losses all over the place. Narvaez had 1 carry of 6 yards, but then the rest went for either 2 yards or fewer. Jimmy Keller was hurt after the first half. He didn't play in the second half. He had 4 carries unofficially for 8 yards. Neither team had 100 yards of total offense at halftime, yet both teams threw for over 100 yards. Like I mentioned, Linker with 166 on 27 pass attempts. And when you look at the quarterback, Brock Voth, the 2 touchdowns on the ground, and at one point he was 4 out of 9 for 34 yards. Well, he ended up, check this out, he ended up 7 out of 12. 7 out of 12 for 151 yards. He was 3 for 3 in his last 3 passes for 117 yards. And, it's just crazy the way the game of football can go. And yet Fort Morgan came up with more turnovers tonight than Berthoud. But, again, it really boils down to the 2 things that both of you, Brian and Kevin, have documented: the lack of a running game and just the amount of injuries. And, again, I know that Harrison Chisholm goes with that next man up philosophy. That's the only philosophy that you can have when you're shorthanded. But when you have to cover for a man that's an experienced and a talented senior, to me, you look at McBride, you look at Hokenettle, and you look at Keller. Those are 3 individual players, but that's basically, in my mind, that's like having 7 or 8 players go down.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the other part of it that we keep missing out on, and when you talk to the coaches before the season, they all talked about having a young offensive line. They have several sophomores starting, and you take a couple injuries there, and you take maybe 1 or 2 kids that just didn't pan out the way they thought they were going to be, and now that next man up is putting in some kid that probably would be 3rd string and trying to block, a good defense. I mean, take nothing away from Berthoud's defense. They played great. But our offensive line right now is where we really need to work on shoring up and finding some help for them.
All right, let's get to the Mustang player of the game. Mustang player of the game tonight after the Mustangs lost to the Berthoud Spartans 22-10. And it is brought to you by Transwest Chevrolet Buick, serving Northeast Colorado and located in Fort Morgan and Sterling. They have a great selection of new and used vehicles. Stop by and take a test drive. Transwest Chevrolet Buick. I hear some whispering. Do we have some candidates? Or I know this is tough. Luis Garcia certainly had quite a few receptions tonight. In fact, I think, he had 5 receptions for 63 yards. It wasn't much of an offensive game, so.
I think he's a possible. I think Garver had probably one of his best games, and he played some good defense too.
Jacob Ortega possibly with that circus catch down here. So,
and then Linker is always a candidate because he's the one that puts it all together. So,
all right. Well, I guess that decision is going to be. It might be in my hands then.
We'll give it to you. We gave you the nominations.
All right. Since you gave me the 4, and I mentioned Luis Garcia first with the 5 catches, the other 3. Obviously, as you mentioned, had good games, but Luis Garcia, with the 5 catches tonight, leading the Mustangs, is the player of the game, the Mustang player of the game, brought to you by Transwest Chevrolet Buick. With the loss, the Mustangs fall to 2-2, and as Kevin mentioned, they've got the Meade Mavericks next week at home, finally back at home since September the 1st, and Berthoud moves to 4-0. Outstanding job by our sound engineer and producer, Blake Boyer. For Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde, I'm John Beltran. The final score from Berthoud 22, Fort Morgan 10 on Facebook Live, Morgan County's B106 and B106.net.